Hi there, I'm David and welcome aboard this episode of Wild Goose Adventures. If I mention the word warrior to you, what does that conjure up in your mind? Well, today we are going to meet a very special warrior, a warrior of the body, the mind and the soul. Rob Rowland Smith is in high demand from top professional sports people all around the world. But what makes him stand out is his attitude and his desire to help the everyday person. He's sometimes known as the corporate warrior, the nighttime warrior, but we're going to focus on the legend himself, the Sandhill warrior.
Front Sandhill, 6:30. Let's go, Sarge. Alright now boys, just before we start, you're right, where's Toughen Up Tony? Right, well done, Toughen Up. Lenny will be on land patrol with you, Sarge, and Warrant Officer Wally. Alright, you got it, Sergeant? Yeah. So you've now got Lieutenant Lenny.
Just follow my lead,
No, don't follow any lead. Alright, so team, what we're going to do is just do what we normally do. We're going to have our first set there, our second set in the shed, so Dave doesn't have that far to go, and then we're going to finish back there. Alright, we're all good, okay? Let's have a really good crack, as many as you like, Doc, and especially looking at you without a shirt on, mate, that's the biggest joke. Righto, pair it off, let's go. Inside legs, let's go, inside legs. Inside legs. They're all, Dave, they're all good legs, here. When I was young, I was nothing like I am now. I was a scrawny little kid, you know, and I was always batting above my average. And I started to read these books, would you believe, written by an Australian author out, Percy Cerutty. Percy Cerutty was this Victorian who trained John Landy, Ron Clark, to world records. And he started off with these guys running him in the sand dunes, lifting weights, And all of a sudden these guys turned from being average or ordinary athletes into basically Olympic contenders. In fact, one of them broke the 4-minute mile. As I got fitter and stronger, I started to make the top teams. I started to make the rowing crew that I wanted to make. All of a sudden, my life started to change in front of me. My favourite class at school was physical education. So when I left school, I then went on to study, went on to university. And then I started off as a physical education teacher. And this was my love, training, fitness, health.
The hard part is to make it look easy.
To be honest with you, mate, that's the before shot. Get over here for the after shot.
And that's really the before shot.
16,
That's called PC.
18, 19. 20 lower, Lenny. 1.
I'm lower than you.
3. 7. 8. 9. 30 lower. 1.
You have some documented evidence
3,
about some of these
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Forward. I often get asked the question, you know, Warrior, what's your formula? Well, there is a formula, and it's called the vitamins for victory. Vitamin A is you've got to have attitude. Vitamin B is you've got to have belief. You've got to have that self-belief, which says, you know, I can and I will do this. Vitamin C is courage. The courage to work hard. the courage to train through injury, illness, the courage to say no to drugs and alcohol, the courage to be an individual, to be yourself. Vitamin D is discipline, dash determination, discipline to get to training, discipline to do the extras, discipline to get out of bed when it's wet and it's cold or it's hot, discipline to say no. And the other part of vitamin D is determination, that determination to work through, train hard, practice my skill, work on my relationships, work on being a better person. Vitamin E is enthusiasm. You've got to have enthusiasm. You've got to love doing what you're doing. And vitamin F, Dave, as we talked about along the beach today, is, mate, you've got to have fun. Vitamin F is fun. Now, there's no point starting a journey if you're going to hate every minute of it. When you start that journey, you've got to love every minute of it. And I love doing what I do. It earns me an income, but the income is not it's not primary, it's secondary. It's what I'm doing. And I'd like to think that when I go to the big Sandhill in the sky, I can leave a legacy. Now I've got to find Mars. Let's go, got to find Mars. Let's go, big wave, Dave. Stage 2 of the warm-up set. Back out round the point, back into the corner. One team, one dream.
Absence is the thing that makes my heart grow fonder for you. Makes me realize all the things I should have realized about you. Sitting alone on the side of the road, I never knew a place to call home. Screaming aloud, whose fault was this? It's mine. Makes me wanna cry. This emptiness inside. It feels so long ago since I felt this love. I don't wanna be another someone reaching out from the Pacific Ocean. I just wanna see a little motion. So give it your all or give it to the foe.
Come on, get there. Up here, boys. Well, Dave, almost the end of the warm-up set. The warm-up set actually became the wipeout set. We had half a dozen of these guys taking off on a rogue wave out there. But you know what's the beauty about this group? Everyone galvanised, everyone came together. And what we did was, we stopped what we were doing, we dived in the water, we pulled the bodies, the boards out of danger, out of harm's way, got the craft back up, and the workout continued to flow. And that's the beauty about this group here. They galvanise, they come together, all different walks of life, all different personalities, and they just come together on these couple of sessions we have a week and being the best that they can be. Sergeant, move it! Let's go, you wood ducks! Come on, Warrior! Let's go! Let's get out of here! Righto, Wade, Mark, Kelsey, Wade. Let's go, boys, let's go! Doyen, Prince of Markers, Digger Dan. Let's go. Magic Mike, let's go.
Magic Mike for the
Right,
credits.
get out of here, Magic Mike.
Still got it, Warrior.
I know. Let's go, the Buzz.
You got to get back in the makeup room, Warrior.
Rock Solid, how many to go? How many to go, Rock Solid? Big Wave Dave, let's go. Where's Lenny? Lenny the left. Lenny. Let's see it.
Len McKinnon, also aka the Lip, Dave. They
The
give
Lip.
me a lot of grief.
And Lip, why do you like coming here?
I love it, mate. It's a great group, great camaraderie. A lot of guys who, look after everyone in surf that's a bit rough. Great leadership, a lot of fun, lots of laughs. Fantastic.
And why do you like Rob so much? Like, what is it about Rob that...
I think he connects with everyone. I think he's got a great feeling for the inner health as well as the physical health. I think he's very caring about people's overall feeling of well-being.
Time that I started teaching, I was also working, having played rugby as a kid. I started working and playing and working with footy teams. So I was playing, but I was also doing some training, and at that stage, all of a sudden, doing sprint intervals, shuttle runs, doing burpees, push-ups, incline push-ups, decline push-ups, sit-ups. This was completely foreign. All of a sudden, I started doing what I was doing myself with these teams. All of a sudden, they started winning premierships. And I thought to myself, hang on, I'm onto something here. So the more I trained, the better I got at what I did. I graduated from uni, and I was very fortunate enough to be employed at the King's School, Parramatta. I started to coach the first 15 rugby, which was successful. The rowing, where we won 5 head of the rivers in a row. I've always loved rugby league as a game. I love the gladiatorial aspect of it. I love the fact that these guys are committed, they're driven. And to be honest with you, as people, you know, from the working class, supposed working class suburbs of Sydney, I just had an immediate affiliation. And then I got a phone call from Dennis Fitzgerald, who was the CEO of the Parramatta Eels, and I joined what was then the most successful team of the 80s, early 90s, and that was Parramatta. Meanwhile, after doing all that, I was also living here on the Northern Beaches, and a lot of the surfers were starting to come to me to train, and all of a sudden those surfers were starting to win world championships, and one thing snowballed into another, and I've got these athletes coming from all over the world. And then Quicksilver said to me one day, they said, look, we'll buy your footy out, we'll buy your school out. For the next 12 years, we never saw a winter. Team really put in today, a lot of variation, 5.5 K's worth of work in choppy conditions, a lot of water running out there. They really put in, so I'm really proud of them. So if you think this was a challenge today, you're damn right. And for everyone else out there, in life, you can't challenge, or if you don't challenge yourself, you never grow. If you don't learn to accept adversity and be the best you can be, you never grow. But just remember, dedication never takes a day off. No excuses. Because in life, team, excuses are the nails that build the house of failure. And in Team Warrior, no one fails. There's no failure, no excuses. Thank you.
There you go. About 300 push-ups, 300 abs, 300 laughs, all in a good session.
Matty.
Yeah. And tell me, how long have you been coming for?
Well, I think probably, geez, I don't know, maybe 15 years, perhaps 10, 15 years, I don't know. So all time flies.
And what keeps you coming back?
Oh, well, you know, it's a great group of guys, so the camaraderie is great, there's lots of banter, you work hard, you get plenty of exercise in, but there's enough jokes and you're in such a beautiful environment, you know, it's a lot less painful than going for a jog. Yeah. So there's that. Warrior's great, you know, he's you know, just a unique character, and yeah, it's just a great way to start your Sunday.
Spartan's the main one.
And how long have you been coming to Warrior?
Maybe about 12 years, yeah.
And what keeps you coming back?
Well, you know, like the Warrior says, just to be the best you can be.
Yeah.
Just keep coming back, get, you know, bit of exercise for the week, banter with the boys and girls, and in fact it's probably less painful to show up than not to show up, if you know what I mean.
As for the awards, now last Friday, I want to go back to last Friday, we had a little issue down here where a lady lost an autistic kid, if you remember, and she was at panic stations and really stressing out, right? To our credit, everyone dispersed in different, forms of transport to try and find this kid. We went to the dressing sheds, we went to the pool, went to Avalon. Rock solid, jumped on his scooter. Where are you, Rock?
I'm here, Wayne.
Jumped on his scooter and followed the road and found the kid at the bend in the road. Yeah, but you found him. So hey, Rock, really well done, mate.
Oh, well done.
And I haven't had a chance to mention that. Now, having said all that, we've had a great week of training. Awesome. Today, Dave came down to shoot segment 1 of the movie, right? And it was a big moment for all of you. Our first set, we paddled around the Doyen.
Rocky 1.
The Prince of Markers. Doyen was blowing the pee out of that whistle louder than I've ever heard him in about the last 20 years. But all of a sudden, a rogue set came. And all of a sudden, everyone decided I'm going to be a hero. And we had carnage on the rocks. But we got out of it, and we got out of it really well without too much damage. Maybe a loss of pride, but without too much damage. But there were 2 standouts. The first one, Nick, where are you, mate? Nick, no, seriously. The way Nick, no, he got in there amongst those rocks. He got in there amongst those rocks. Went and got the Padres board. So Nick, I want you to accept this one.
Thanks, Mario.
Really good.
Thank you very much.
But I've got to say, what out-trumped Nick was Chrissy, where are you, champion? Right, so not only lost his ski, which he went out and retrieved, and Benny, where are you, gentle Ben? Thank you for getting his paddle, mate. But then he went in and got Gordy's ski. But what was the highlight of the morning was he had Gordy's ski above his head, standing on a rock with waves breaking around like a colossus. That ski was above his head, right, with those waves breaking around him. Chrissy, you got the award, champion. Right, well done, mate. Absolutely fantastic.
If Kitty's Corner in Palm Beach is the ocean playground, then we're about to step it up a level. We're going to go and meet him under the lee of the famous Barrenjoey Lighthouse and go and check out his sandhills and see what regime and punishment he can provide there. And this is where the legend first made his name.
We had this training camp here, and we were training at the Palm Beach Sandhills, and here am I surrounded by the best, most elite surfers in the world, right? So we were running up and down the sand dunes. One of those was the 11-time world champion Kelly Slater. And here am I running up and down the hills, and Bruce Raymond, the CEO of Quicksilver International, was running behind me. So I got this line of people going up and down this hill. So I was leading it, Bruce was behind me, then I've got all these world champions and the lead athletes running in my footsteps behind me. And Bruce is saying to me, he says, "Hey Rob," as he was puffing and panting, he said, "Hey Rob, we're running these sandhills, we're Sandhill Warriors. This is warrior training. We're Sandhill Warriors and you're the Sandhill Warrior." So, and
it stuck.
And it stuck.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I gotta try to separate things I love from the things I've gotta do.
So Dave, we're about halfway through the warm-up. As you can see, I call this the warm-up hill, around the Rock of Reflection. A little bit of wading, cool the body temperature down because it's going to be very hot and humid up where Mecca is, in the top of that sand dune, okay? So they're going to do a little routine now on the beach, and that will almost complete their session.
I've tried so hard to contemplate the way in which I search for meaning. Not sure I do believe anymore. Every day when I wake up, I say no, I won't do it again. Feels as though I've lost my mind, feels like it's so pretend. Every day when I wake up, I say no, I won't do it again. I can't remember the last time.
Let's go.
I was
Running down. Come on, Walt. So now we're starting into the meat of everything, Dave. 5-minute drill, and they'll finish near me at the top of the hill. We'll do a little upper body set.
got to escape the awful things that are twisting, turning, burning up my soul, or else they'll swallow me whole.
Trained hard all my life. I had an issue with the hip. The surgeon said to me, "What's your goal?" And I said, "Well, after the operation, I want to be back in 4 weeks' time." True to my word, I rehabbed myself like there was no tomorrow. 23 hours a day, 7 days a week. And he said, "That's impossible. You can't do it. It will not happen." I said, "Yes, it will." He gave me the hip. So 4 weeks to the day, we came up here. The boys brought a couple of shovels. We completed a session. Yeah, I shuffled. I didn't actually run. I shuffled, but I was here. We dug a 2-metre hole. The hip was in a container with a letter. We buried the hip, covered it up, and then we had a wake back in the car park. Every time we come to the sand dunes, that top marker will always be on top of my hip.
I gotta break the barricade to find the kind of love these black mirrors try to emulate. Not scared of losing my grace this time. Every day when I wake up, I say no, I won't do it again. Feels as though I've lost my mind, feels like it's so pretend. Every day when I wake up, I say no, I won't do it again. Can't remember the last time I was walking in a straight line.
So Dave, we're going to do some sprints up the hill now, and they're going to peel to the right and the left. A 3-minute drill. Then come down the bottom, mate. We're going to do a big, I'm going to sort their stomachs out. The key to strength in your body is to have a strong core. Doesn't matter if you look like Adonis, if you're not strong here, you're not strong anywhere. Right? Problem in our society today, we're soft, we're overweight because we don't do enough core. In a moment, I'm going to show you the best core routine ever. Talk soon. Lock the fingers, go. 1, 2, warrior twist. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, rock, 10. 1, 2, oh please. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Rest. Okay, first of all, a couple of things. Girls, where are they? Happy Valentine's Day. Okay, give them a round of applause. And hopefully you Muppets have done something for your better halves on Valentine's Day. Right, anyway, back to all of us, hey guys, today, hey listen, seriously, that was top shelf. That was a really good workout today. So I tried to mix it up as much as we could. We did some work in the water, which was great. We did the endurance stuff, the speed stuff was huge. So for those of you that haven't been here and experienced this before, guys and girls, well done. So having said all that, we've had a great week of training. We're back into it next week, all right?
Doyen, Prince of Markers, but before that it was the commissioner and then the conditioner. It goes back 20 plus years. Some blokes go to the pub, golf. This is a real bonding session for boys, and they're able to be totally PC incorrect, and the banter is as thick as it can be. It's just a lot of fun, and of course the Warrior is an enigma. So he's just an incredible guy and so inspirational. It's just, people come here once, they just keep coming back.
So first session in a year, but yeah, fantastic. Great way to start the day, release those endorphins and yeah, enjoy the sunshine.
Yeah. And how's the Warrior?
Yeah, he's intense and he never gives in, but he makes you work for it. So it's fantastic.
David, big wave.
Big wave, Dave. How did you get that?
It's one heavily born in cynicism.
And how long have you been training with the Warrior?
About 8 years. I love the physical training side, but I love the banter. I love the group. It's a terrific bunch of people.
So my name's Magic Mike, obvious reasons. Not a lot more to say about that. About 4 years, but first time on the dunes. Why do I come? Oh, easy. Absolutely love training with the Warrior. It's not only the fitness, but the fun. And big spoonful of motivation he gives you. Great guy to train with.
Rock solid.
Rock solid. How did you get the nickname Rock Solid?
Oh, I tell you what, I still got it. I don't know yet, but I think it's because of these, bro.
And how long have you been training with the Warrior?
Well, some would say overnight with this rig, but it's been a work in progress for some years. I tell you what, I'm coming out of my shell this year, though.
And what do you like most about training with the Warrior?
Well, giving the guys a bit of feedback. You know, you can't blame COVID. These guys were fat in February last year.
Up till now, it's been about the ocean and the sand and using the nature's own power and majesty to provide resistance. We're going to go and check out the other side of the Sand Warrior's punishment, and that is the famous Muscle Beach.
So boys, this is it. This is Muscle Beach. It's all outdoors, as you can see up here. It's floodlit, brighter than the Sydney Cricket Ground. What have we done here in Muscle Beach? Well, we've created world champions. If you have a look at the Warriors bio, you'll see that, all the way from 11-time world champion Kelly Slater, Lane Beachy 7 world titles, Lisa Anderson 4, Wendy Botha 4, Tommy Carroll 2. The list goes on. At some stage of their career, they have spent time here. My son is an Olympic, my eldest son is an Olympic athlete, and there have been a host of Olympians that have been through here, plus NRL players, rugby players, and more importantly, probably than the whole lot of them, are just your normal, run-of-the-mill guys off the street who just come here to be the best that they can be. Paulie, get down there. You're the next captain. Move it. Let's go. I'm giving him another chance. Right now, turn over here. Another one. I know, boys. I know. In the house of pain.
The dark blade, rise up in the night. Now he, hope, marshman, yeah. The pestle and the mortar grind, dust storm blind eyes, the sweat from your forehead drip, give it full body boys, bent lip. Now heave, hope, marshman.
So how's Muscle Beach treating you?
Mate, it's getting tougher every week. And I've been doing it for about 20 years.
Do you have a nickname?
I do. I am the Golden Child.
And how did you get that name?
Well, no one's really quite sure about how I got the Golden Child, but it started off as the Fair-haired Child and then worked its way to the Golden Child. So, yeah, that's where it is now.
And what makes you keep coming back?
Oh, mate, it's just a mix of people. You can see tonight, got young kids here, you got old blokes who are on their last legs like D1 here. You got guys who are playing rugby, rowing surfboats. Just a good bunch of people to hang out with, and the Warrior's always, he's at you to get better and better and be the best you can be.
And D1, what brought you here?
I was introduced to the Warrior through a friend 6 years ago.
And you enjoyed the training?
I enjoy the training.
And how did you end up with D1?
There's another David, so it was D1 and D2 from day one.
Now, round 2 has been completed. Round 3 and 4, we're just about to start now.
How did you end up with the Predator?
Equipment never takes a day off.
Well, it's a Monday night. This is their first session of the week. It's my 5th session for the day. They're halfway through, and I've got to say, you can tell by the energy and the effort that these guys are really putting in. And in a moment, we're going to play a song which is a tribute to a very special person here tonight. You're going to find that out in a moment.
You can start here.
Crank it up, DJ Dave. So cheeks. Round of DJ Dave.
It's up to 11.
I want to tell you a story about a filmmaker we know. He came to train and watch Muscle Beach, and the boys really put on a show. They ain't exactly pretty, they ain't exactly small. But when Dave walked out the gate, he said, "Hey Warrior, this team has got it all. Right, let's go. Let's start.
Adam.
And Adam, what's your nickname?
The Penguin.
That doesn't sound like you like it very much. It's stuck.
Oh, you got to live with it. It's stuck.
Yeah.
Thank Magic Mike and the Warrior for that one.
Yeah. And how long have you been training with the Warrior?
Shit, a long time. So I started over here at Muscle Beach. I had to give it up because my teeth were suffering. I couldn't brush my teeth the next day. I couldn't lift my arm up. And my legs were too sore to surf, so I kind of went to Warrior said to me, "Come train with these soft guys on a Wednesday and a Friday." We're in the water, and yeah, that's been my shtick for the last probably 4 or 5 years.
Excellent. And what is it about the Warriors training that's so special?
Just getting out there, be the best that you can be.
Paulie. And Paulie, what's your nickname?
Pod Captain.
Pod Captain.
Here we go.
We love it. How long have you been coming for?
Since about 09.
Prodigal son, he keeps coming back.
Yeah, I find my way here, and then I find my way out of here. No, in all honesty, I don't know where I'd be without the bloke. He brings everyone together. He's committed every day, every week. So hats off to him, and we all look up to him. So yeah, good on you, mate. Thanks for having us. Thanks for having me.
10 years last month.
And what makes this so special?
Warrior threw a big party for me too. It was good, amazing. He never forgets anything.
Yeah.
The camaraderie of all the guys definitely makes this a special occasion. And the Warrior, obviously, an amazing leader and inspirational person for all of us. Get a little rub down at the end is always helpful. So good. Close group. And look, for guys, I just feel it's something that really keeps us sane, you know? Getting sort of energy out and so on.
The environment seems to be something that's super special, isn't it?
Plenty of banter, but everyone having a good time. Close friendships and good fun.
The Sandhill Warrior. Passionate, compassionate, motivating and inspiring, doing his bit to make the world the best it can be, one person at a time. Hope you've enjoyed this show. I hope you've enjoyed looking at this inspirational and unique warrior. I think we're going to leave the last words to Rob, the Sand Warrior himself.
You know what's important in life, Dave? Legacy, memories, health, love, family. All the intrinsic things. Material things don't matter. You would be surprised the number of people that I take training that are worried about their bank accounts, their mortgages, worried about how many cars or what type of car, how big is my boat. You know what, Dave? At the end of the day, a hearse doesn't come with a luggage rack. You can't take the material stuff with you. But what you can take are those memories. What you can take is that love. What you can take is that legacy that you leave as a human being, that people for generations after you have gone, and your children have gone, and their children have gone, they can say that, hey, this is what I learnt from the Sandhill Warrior. And if I can make the world a better place, and if someone 3 or 4 generations down can say, you know what, my dad told me the story about this guy who believed that we should be the best that we can be, and to look adversity in the face, and to accept challenge, and to get out there and do it. You know what? If that can happen way down the track, Dave, then I've left my legacy. And if I can leave my legacy, when I go to that big sandhill in the sky, I'll be a happy man.